3, 2, 1.
So for the last 3 years, I've set this as one of my running goals. The half marathon. Would really love to bring that down to sub 90, right? I really want to hit sub 90 for a half too. I think I've left a lot out there. I think I can go a lot faster. A sub 90 half marathon has eluded me for years. I had the opportunity to have fair dinkum crack this year at the Cairns Half Marathon. Here's how it went. Now, I am absolutely stoked with that race. I ran a 1:27.26, which is almost a 3.5 minute PB, which is pretty huge for me. I'm ecstatic not only with the result, but how I went about it and how I put it together. So if you'll indulge me for a few minutes, let's break it down and let's talk about how the whole race went blow by blow. I had a fantastic lead in into this race and a great training block. Then, with about 4 weeks out, illness struck, so I missed all of my peak training. In the week before the race, I had a work trip down to Adelaide, which threatened to throw the whole thing out and meant I couldn't run. I managed to get flights back on the Saturday night just before the race. So after about 3 or 4 hours sleep, I was warming up on my way to the photo shoot, ready for the race. I got myself ready, made my way to the corral, and found a group of guys who I've previously run with on a Thursday morning. We were all aiming for about 90 minutes, so it seemed sort of perfect. And we all had a fairly similar race plan of going out reasonably conservatively. It seemed like all my plans were coming together despite the hurdles beforehand. The start went really, really well. This is the first time in this particular event that I've managed to control myself on the start. And I credit that to 2 things. 1, having the group of guys around me, but 2, starting about 40 or 50 people back slowed me down in that first K, stopped me from getting too excited and going out with the lead group and ruining my race like I've done every other year that I've done it. Now, the Cairns Marathon is run around a 10.5K loop course. And to make sure the marathoners don't get too hot and aren't cooking in the middle of the day, the race starts at 5:45. That means the first lap is done pretty much in the dark, and there's a few spots where it's a little bit sketchy and gets quite dark. But that being said, the payoff is a beautiful sunrise on the second lap. I was glad I had the group to run with because it meant that I had a bunch of people to talk to, take my mind off what I was trying to achieve, and really have a crack. The beauty of this group, though, the real beauty, was that we kept each other accountable. Anytime someone got excited or started to get too keen, they were feeling good and started to pick up the pace a little bit, we dragged each other back. You know, we'd keep on track of our pacing. We'd call each other out and we'd dial it back. We worked really, really well together. We let the 90-minute pacer go ahead because we had a pretty clear pacing strategy and we were happy with how that was going. That group were a few hundred metres up the road by about the 5K mark. As we rounded the top end of the first loop, we were all feeling pretty comfortable, feeling pretty relaxed. We weren't going too crazy and we felt like we were in control, which was a great start. As we came towards the start of the next lap, we started to claw our way back on that 90-minute pace group. At about the 9K mark, we caught the pace group. Many in that group were starting to fall back and starting to blow up a little bit because they'd gone out just that little bit too hard. We'd made this plan to catch up with the pace group and then sit with them for a while. But the bloody pace's balloon was so annoying that a few of us just went, nah, we got to get out of here. And so we ran a little bit ahead just to get away from them. We got to the end of the first lap with the sun just starting to come up. It was absolutely beautiful. It was stunning. I personally felt really, really strong. I was really happy with a 44.09, and I knew that all I had to do was hang on, maintain this pace and maintain that momentum, and I was going to absolutely smash my goal. We ran back along the Esplanade, and I've got to say, I caught one of the best sunrises I've seen in years. That's absolutely my favourite thing about this race. Even though I run here pretty much every day, hitting that sunrise and being out amongst thousands of people who are doing the same thing as you are and seeing that sunrise, it's just a sight to behold. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning, and I loved it. The second lap was more of the same, and we were absolutely flying. We were nailing it. We hit the top turnaround and started to pick things up just a little bit. Okay, we're 5Ks from home, and the group just started to move and tick the legs over that little bit faster. I was still a little bit worried because I have history at this race of doing exactly that and then blowing up at the 17K mark. So I was still a little bit concerned, but I wanted to finish this with the group. We'd done such a good job up until then, I wanted to hang around, so I did. Now we hit the top corner of the Esplanade, and this is a point where on a Thursday morning, if it's a general training run, the same loop that we do, we would hit that top corner at about 340 pace. So naturally, we hit the top corner, come around the corner, start running towards the bubble fountain, and we're all of a sudden hitting sub 4 minute Ks. We pulled each other back into line and just went, oh, hang on, let's just cool it for a little bit. We decided to cool it for a bit longer just to get through that last little loop. While I was on this section, we were going through a drink station and I felt something pop in my left groin area. It was suddenly really, really uncomfortable. Like I can remember the step and I felt it go. A quick change of gait though, and I managed to jump back on the group. The pain was down to a 2 or 3, so I thought, nah, hang on for as long as you can and see if you can make it home. Then we hit the final turn, which is about 2.5K. It's just around the corner from my house here. It's about 2.5K from the finish line. And I knew at that point that I had enough in the tank. This is the point where I knew I'd gone through all the hurdles I needed to, and I just had to get home. So I'm sitting here editing, right, watching back the footage, and I've just realised there's a whole chunk missing. So anyway, it's just the last little bit of the race. So here we go. So Jim and I were both feeling fresh, so we started to kick down a little bit. Now, my last 3Ks were all under 4 minute pace. So that tells me I probably didn't go out hard enough, but also I finished strong. Anyway, Jim and I raced to the line. I love the Cairns finish shoot. I absolutely lapped it up. So Jim is a much better runner than I am. So he was just pacing me. He was just trying to get me to the quickest time we possibly could. And I'm really appreciative of that. But yeah, we did. We raced it down to the line. I thought I had him. I thought I was there. I thought I'd gone past. And then a last second kick and he picked me over the line. He's a much stronger runner than I am, so I've got to accept that. But, you know, I thought I had him. It's this close. We're only like a metre from the line and he got me. Anyway, our final time, same time together, 1:27.26. Anyway, back to the video. Before I finish up, I need to say a massive thanks to John, Jim, Andy, and Kurt, the guys who I ran with. You guys were amazing. I don't think I could have done this without you. I wasn't feeling confident when I rocked up to the line, having had no sleep the 2 nights before and the travel and everything that had gone wrong in the lead up. But just having people to sit with, to relax, to calm me down made a complete difference. And you guys are the reason why I got over that line. So thanks, guys. You're probably not even watching, but I loved every minute of it. And yeah, I really appreciate it. I'm sort of hoping that you guys will, decide to come and pace me at Sydney, but I think that's a bit of a stretch. Anyway, that's a wrap on my sub 90 half marathon. Now it's on to the next goal, putting the Sydney Marathon together. Okay, I absolutely failed at that last year, so I've got to do better this time. I'm really nervous about how I'm going to turn this around and recover quickly and then launch into marathon training because there's only like an 8 or 9 week gap between the two. So I've really got to get the recovery right, get it done quick, and then get into the marathon training. And especially with this groin soreness, because I have pulled up pretty sore from it. And I hope it doesn't cause me too much grief, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, one goal has been ticked off for the year. Now it's on to the next one. Let's see how we go. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.